Hello and what is going on today, guys? Tomcat here and welcome to Forza Horizon 4. Now, Forza Horizon 4, this is basically some footage that I was able to record of the full game, and I am, first of all, I want to thank everybody that allowed me to be able to get this footage. It's absolutely incredible and allowed me to play the game. But also, I want to say that I am absolutely just blown away by the game itself. I just absolutely blown away by it. Now, in this video, we're going to be building a Charger RT with a massive supercharger sticking out the hood for, basically, I installed twin turbos first, and then I went back and I realized that you could open the, you could basically have the blower sticking out the hood as an aesthetic thing, as well as you could do the supercharger, and I was like, you know what, it's a classic muscle car, we've got to do it properly, and so that's what we did. Now, this video also is going to show not only building the car, but taking it out into the world and drifting it, taking it around the Horizon Festival, taking it to actually what is basically a drift pad at the Horizon Festival, and also taking it to one of the very, very cool twisty drift roads nearby to the festival. So we've got a lot of videos coming very, very soon. I've got some other videos coming soon that you guys will want to watch out for with other cars, as well as more free roaming, more exploration, and just pretty much more of everything Horizon 4 related. So make sure that if you are not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe, because all of that stuff is coming very, very, very soon. So back into this build. Now, the actual menu system itself is just so smooth. It's, as you can see right now on the screen, it's absolutely incredibly smooth. Gone is all that stuff of like any of the menus being slow, any of them feeling weird. They just literally, you just go into the menu, pick the part you want, and bam, you're off, and pick the part you want, and then bam, you're off. So you're good to go on pretty much any part that you pick. You're not going to have any weird hangups, you're not going to have any lag. It's always all good to go. You have all these different tire compounds here. You still have like the Horizon race tire compound. You have, you know, your streets, your sports, your race, all that kind of stuff. I decided to put like basically sport tires on this car because it was a drift build and I didn't want to throw race tires on it. But you can see here the track width is actually already adjusted all the way out, but it gives you the option of rear track width on this car. Some cars, it's just rear. Some cars, it's front and rear, so it depends on which option you want to go with. Now, the wheel list is massive, absolutely huge, as per usual with a Forza game. A lot of these wheels are returning wheels that you guys will know and either just know or know and love, and I'm going to go ahead and let you guys see pretty much all of the wheels that we have on offer here, and I guarantee you there's going to be something for everybody. If there's not a single wheel that you like in this entire wheel list, I don't know if there's any wheels out there in the real world that you're going to like, because while this might not have every single wheel out there that everybody might want, there's definitely a hugely wide range of wheels that definitely there's going to be at least a wheel style in here that you are going to like and that you're going to want to put on your car. All the way up to like these crazy, you know, like rotiform wheels that you would almost like only ever see on like show builds, but nonetheless, they're here. And I mean, there is a part of the Forza community that builds show cars primarily for the objective of finding cool places to park them and taking pictures of them. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's like that's a genuine part of the community. And I actually decided to put 1552s on this car because it would just be super weird and offbeat for a Charger RT, especially a classic muscle car. But at the same time, they do have a real beefy look to them. They have a really aggressive look to them, and it's kind of like that no frills, all business look that just works really, really well. And to be brutally honest, guys, I think that they actually, like, originally when I had the idea in my mind, I was like, you know what? Maybe these aren't going to be the best idea for this car, but they kind of grew on me, and I'm sure that there's going to be you guys in the comments that are going to be like, that's not an American muscle wheel, that doesn't belong. But you know what? Honestly, like I said, they kind of grew on me a little bit because I kind of felt the same way when I initially put them on the car. So with all of that being said, I think the biggest thing, the absolute biggest thing, to me anyway, is the, you can do, by the way, you can do a body kit preset on this car, which basically gives it a little bit of rake, and it gives it a little bit of, like, you know, that real drag stance, gives it a cage, you know, gives it crazy, crazy power. But at the end of the day, the biggest thing that I wanted to do with this car was drift it. And honestly, that's the biggest thing that, like, that's the biggest thing I wanted to do. But before we took it out there, I did want to change up the colors a little bit because I felt like, you know, color-wise, it did need a little bit of something at least. I stuck with a factory color. I went with this factory bright red because I know everybody loves the orange on these cars, but I wanted to switch it up. I wanted to be different, so I went with the red, and I think the car pulls off the red very, very well. I mean, you don't really see it in the red very often because you're always seeing it in that classic orange, which I understand that classic orange. I understand why it's there. It's honestly, it works because everybody loves that. Everybody loves that classic orange for good reason. I mean, it's definitely a classic icon in that color. But without any further ado, it's about time to leave the garage, throw this thing sideways, and see what it's like. So after leaving the garage, the main thing that I wanted to focus on was showing you guys what the car was genuinely like to drive. Now, by doing that, the main area that I wanted to focus on was firstly here in the festival, and then secondly, out onto some of the twisty roads like I mentioned earlier in the video. Now, the area in the festival that I mainly wanted to focus on was the drift area, which is kind of basically like a circular drift pad. You can see it right here over on the right, that you can actually just basically just loop around it over and over and over. You've got 2 layers of road, one that comes in and loops around about 3/4 of the way, and then the actual drift pad itself is basically just a circle. So this is great in my opinion because you could build a drift car, bring it in here, decided to spin around and go the other way, build a drift car, bring it in here, test it out, and then also if you're like maybe a new drifter, like if it's something that you kind of just like have just started learning, you can come here and practice it with a car that you literally just built, which I think is really, really cool. Like before, it was kind of like, you know, you could build a drift car, but if you were new to drifting, you had to go somewhere to practice, right? You had to find a lot, you had to find a good road, you had to find somewhere to practice, and that circular drift pad gives you the exact type of environment you need to learn how to hold a continuous slide. Now, once you've got everything down over there, pretty much the biggest thing you can do is right outside the festival, you have this really, really twisty, curvy downhill switchback road, which downhill, uphill, it just, you know, you can alternate it back and forth depending on which way you want to go, but it's a really, really good road, an amazing road for drifting. It's got hairpins, like, that are just the right size, literally just the right size. And when I say they're just the right size, they are long enough that they're fun in a higher horsepower car, but they're also not so long that a lower horsepower car is just going to go halfway and then just kind of die off. Now, a lower horsepower car is definitely going to take a lot more work to maintain angle and a lot more speed, but the higher horsepower cars aren't going to be like just blowing through the turn, and you know, it's just more like tire smoke than anything else. So there's definitely something for everybody here. There's something for everybody's, you know, different levels of drift cars. And honestly, the scenery is gorgeous too. Like drifting in between these rocks totally reminded me of Fujimi. And honestly, keeping on like going down the mountain, I was like, this has such like Fujimi vibes. It's unreal. And of course, you know, obviously, yes, the game is based in the UK. And, you know, these roads are definitely similar to some UK roads, but it definitely has those mountain road elements that I've been looking for in Forza for a long time. And I'm so glad that they're here. I'm genuinely glad that they're here. And I think it shows not only that they really, really listened to the community and really listened to what the community wanted in terms of map design, but also shows that they're really thinking about every niche of player. You know what I mean? Like, they've got these twisty roads for the drifters. They've got the crazy, you know, long straights for the roll racers. They've got the open roads for the people that just like to come and drive supercars. They've got the cities. They've got, like, those downtown tight roads. They've got the off-road areas, which, again, all of this stuff is coming to the channel very, very soon. All this stuff is coming to the channel, and you guys are going to see it exclusively right here. There's a lot of exclusive gameplay, not just this one, but there's more exclusive gameplay that I'm going to be bringing you guys very, very, very soon. But going back up the hill, you definitely need a little bit more power to maintain angle going up the hill. You definitely are going to need a faster car, but that's not to say that you can't do it with a lower horsepower car. It's just a little bit more challenging. Because, of course, going downhill, you have gravity on your side, you have the angle of the road on your side most of the time, and when you're going uphill, you're more pushing against it rather than working with it, and especially, you know, gravity will help a lot when you're going downhill. That's why cars like the AE86 are so good at it in stock form. But I love the way the game looks, I love the way the game plays, I love the way the game feels. It genuinely has that classic Forza Horizon feel with everything smoother. everything is so much smoother, and I didn't realize that. See, that's the thing. I didn't even realize that it needed to be any smoother. And then I played Horizon 4, and I was like, wow, the actual difference here is genuinely amazing. You know what I mean? Like, the actual difference here is genuinely amazing in terms of what genuinely how the game feels. It feels so smooth, it plays so nicely, and it's honestly just a joy to drive these cars. It's an absolute joy to drive these cars around. It's an absolute pleasure to just, like, slide them through the landscape, and everything just works. Everything just genuinely works so well, and there's honestly, this is the absolute best that Horizon has been. Like, dude, it's so awesome. It's the best it's been so far. It's so good. And honestly, dude, there's so much more to come that I partially don't, like, I want to tease it, but at the same time, I partially don't want to give it away because there's so many new things coming that I'm not sure whether or not I'm going to give that away just yet. But I hope you guys enjoyed the very first Forza Horizon 4 exclusive gameplay video here on my channel, which I think is perfectly fitting with it being a drift build. But there's a lot more coming very soon, so make sure that if you are not subscribed, click that subscribe button right now, and make sure you also click the notification bell to know when I go live. And also, tell me in the comment section below what you guys think of Horizon 4. Tell me what you guys think of the way it looks. Tell me what you guys think of the way it sounds. Tell me if you guys are excited about it. But hope you all enjoyed. I'll see y'all in the next one. Talk to you guys later.